Hello everyone and welcome back to another brand new video. Today we're going to be going over the most recent 2 episodes of Pokemon Horizons, and I mentioned in my last community post that I was going to review these 2 together because neither of them were all too plot heavy. They were actually very similar in focusing on different members of the Rising Voltaclers, so I didn't think they needed their own individual videos, so I'm just going to knock them both out now. So for episode 76, this one really wasn't all too interesting to me. There isn't really that much to say, honestly, because the main plot is that the gang reunites with a former Rising Voltaclers member, and they pretty much just follow him around all day. He is basically a journalist now. That is the reason why he left the Rising Voltaclers, and his whole thing is that he kind of mixes in real information with exaggerated information, which is why one of the members, Molly, isn't really too big a fan of him. The two of them were kind of bickering throughout the episode, mainly from her perspective because he doesn't really have an issue with her. She kind of just has an issue with him because she used to really believe his stuff. But long story short, I guess they end up kind of being on neutral terms, and in the end, the main element that we get out of this episode is that the group decides to travel to Olivine City to find Entei, which is the first time we've really gone to a brand new region in a while since the whole trip they had to Paldea. They kind of just stuck there, for a while, and we hadn't gone to any different regions, which I'm really happy to see because this is a world traveling series and we hadn't been going to a different region in a while, so I'm glad to see that they're finally now in Johto, which is where they wind up in episode 77. Now, this episode was a bit more, at least, action-packed. This time around, it's more focused on Ludlow as we go to Olivine City, which is his hometown. And the main element here that we learn is that he was kind of like this movie star in the past. It's not really mentioned that directly it was him, but we can see that this former actor was him, and that his Mighty G persona is based off of this character that he used to play, where there was this villainous Sharpedo, which is his Sharpedo. So this episode was a bit more interesting. Not too much really plot happened, but it was at least more interesting to watch. Liko, Royandot, and Ludlow basically follow around this guy who was a fan of the movie character, and they end up getting into this situation where the 3 Tatsugiri from the ship, which are spending most of the episode just torturing Murdoch, they end up getting into trouble in this whirlpool, and so Ludlow has to become Mighty G to save them, which he ends up doing. So that again was another, I guess, nice thing for the Voltaclers, just to get 2 episodes focusing on them back to back. But moving on to the next episode, next week we're gonna finally get into them finding Entei and challenging it to a battle and hopefully capturing it. So that's pretty much all for this review. You guys can let me know in the comments what you thought of these 2 episodes, what you thought of seeing some more lore and backstory of the Rising Voltaclers, and I will see you all next time. Thank you!